But we'll see if some of these guys go with the traditional picks, of which Sorlag going first. Not surprising at all.
I mean, we've seen a lot of Anarchy, a lot of Sorlag, a lot of Nyx, a lot of Doomslayer, a nice amount of Ranger today as well. We've seen the odd Scalebearer here and there, the odd Slash as well. We even saw Visor once, which was really cool.
Who's this final pick? Doomslayer. So some very, very, very traditional picks here. I think, you know, it's not really, again, it's not surprising to see that people are going with the real standard of what the community is now deemed to be a strong team composition, where you've got Nyx, Doomslayer, and Anarchy. That's pretty much like, you know, the golden triangle right now of, you know, if you want to go with just traditional, if you want to go with just decent stats, decent movement, you know, being able to tick a lot of boxes, in essence. They're kind of like the three champions that you can take. But we are at a stage in the game where, with the exception of maybe a Blaskovic, almost everyone gets picked. And I think it's good for the game, really, right now. We're seeing that level of creativity. And it's used to success, too. It's used to great success.
We actually haven't seen much of Ruins of Sarnath today, generally, though, to be honest. We've seen a lot of Blood Run, a lot of Corrupted Keep, but Ruins has been one that's kind of just been on the back burner, I think, for a lot of the time. And I think a lot of that has been kind of like players haven't chosen it as such, because when players get their options, they'll go to, like, if they want to control and obviously play a long game, we tend to see Blood Covenant, Blood Run. And if they want to take that option away from the opponent and keep things very up close and personal, they go Corrupted Keep. And it seems to be very much like that's what you'll do, one or the other. Whereas Ruins of Sarnath here, being that this is that predetermined first round map, but players kind of really having to play on it, right? And it shows that you need to be used to these maps at this point, which I wouldn't assume wouldn't be the case, considering how long Ruins of Sarnath has been in the game up until now.
Since, like, forever. But here we go. This is our losers' quarters, ScizR and cha1n. But this being losers bracket, for those that have just joined us and may wonder what a losers bracket is, it's a last chance. You know, these guys would have lost a series already to be sent here. If you lose this series while you're in the losers bracket, you are out of the tournament.
You have to remember there is just one spot left for DreamHack Winter, so there's literally like a bunch of people left and only one of them can claim it, and that is a stressful realization when you realize just how long these guys have been playing for.
And I think as well, seeing as you know, the sort of like cream of the crop North American players in, like, you know, Rafa and DeHang were directly invited to, it kind of opens up for players outside of the, I guess, the obvious to really sort of come out and show that they are among that same level and they're really sort of fighting for that recognition and fighting for those spots.
It was the same thing with Europe as well. You know, there was a lot of talent that I have no doubt would have qualified if they had to play, but the fact that they were just invited outright means that it does open up for a lot more creative results, I suppose, when they obviously are just going straight through to there. That's half of the fun. That's going to be the heavy armor going towards cha1n. Not bad.
I think ScizR opted where I actually quite like that play. To drop down and fire one of those rockets right as the heavy armor spawned. I think the play there was to take the Mega, because there was no way cha1n was going to be able to chase that one down. While at the same time, ScizR is able to undo some of that heavy armor progress and then get the Mega to kind of make that divide a little bit bigger.
Not a lot's happened so far, though. 1 minute 30 into this round. Some players are kind of avoiding direct confrontation right now, just trying to poke down that life and armor whenever they can. But so far, it's cha1n that has the better of the armor pickups.
ScizR a little bit longer. There's the rocket jump actually to try and beat him to the Mega, and even though he was able to beat him to it, unfortunately he has taken so much damage in the process, and ScizR just needs to get one more well-placed rocket to finish that job and get the first blood of this series.
That was actually a big surprise that cha1n was losing that 1v1, because he had access to heavy armor and the Mega.
Nice. I wonder if he's going to escape here. That was not the greatest of ideas, I think, to try and dedicate too hard to the gauntlet. I think he realized if he was going to have to fight there, the gauntlet was probably going to give him the best chance. But really, I didn't realistically see ScizR losing that fight at all.
Oh wow, good prediction from ScizR that he was going to go into that teleporter. I think he saw him running in that direction and just generally was like, okay, he was probably going to use that. Nice reactions on the return. cha1n has the Mega, but he is losing a lot of life in these trades.
But we're almost 3 minutes down already. And if we've seen Anarchy on Ruins of Sarnath enough times, we'll know that this champion likes to run cycles around the map and be very hard to hit and very hard to pin down. Allows them to play that defensive clock game very, very effectively.
Just missing that rail though, cha1n. Oh, missing another one. The Borster defensively ghost walk. Right now, ScizR has just been getting the better of these trades.
I mean, stating the obvious, I know, but cha1n needs to make sure he's not missing those rails. Against someone like Anarchy, where one rail is the difference between him being able to dedicate to a fight and having to back up to restack, you really can't allow someone like ScizR to press that advantage with Anarchy. If you're missing the rails, he will go in and punish you during the rail downtime, and before you know it, you're probably going to lose a champion in the process.
Oh no, jumps down just before the Mega Health spawns. There you go, manages to get most of it at least. Still no armor, but not bad. At least controls the Mega itself. Heavy armor going to ScizR also. Again, 1 minute 15 left, and ScizR with a commanding lead in champions. Oh, misses this shot this time.
Forced to use the Ghost Walk again to survive. The danger here is that cha1n will not have access to that for quite a long time. ScizR, I wonder if he's going to chase this one down. No, he's not. I think he's, again, content just keeping cha1n behind.
I mean, ScizR isn't really in any position that he really needs to chase these frags. He just needs to keep cha1n from being able to fight. He has less than a minute left to go. This is just round 1, but he has a massive lead. He doesn't really need to go for this frag at all if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he hasn't followed for a single one. He's got to stay alive for 35 seconds. He's going to win this round. I actually like the fact that when he's put cha1n on so much low health, he actually just retreats and is content keeping him behind.
Oof, and again missing that rail, but ScizR's not going to miss his.
He gets the Mega, but realistically, I'm honestly not sure how much that's actually going to help him. Goes in for the Ghost Walk, maybe catching him by surprise, but unfortunately because ScizR was nowhere to be found, that is 100% going to be a free round, and that's going to be 1-0 for ScizR so far.
Yeah, that's going to be the round. Nothing that cha1n can do about it anymore. Round 1 going the way of ScizR. I mean, a slow-paced one for sure, but I mean, that's Ruins, right? Ruins has the space. You have the ability to do that if you want.
Round begins.
You have that distance.
3, 2, 1. Round
Let's see if things can be a little bit different in round 2 now. cha1n starting with that saw lag again. ScizR was able to win this initial fight quite easily. I mean, last time cha1n took that fight, he had the Mega Health and the Heavy Armor, yet still kind of lost the fight.
Wow, he's going in for the kill. cha1n's taking a huge chunk of damage. I wonder if he's going to be able to get away from this one. Yeah, ScizR's not chasing it down.
Not yet, but he's going to where he thinks cha1n is likely to be, I suppose. The Heavy Armor going to be up in just a few seconds.
But unfortunately, yeah, the split second it took to actually get that 25 health bubble. I'm assuming the idea might have been to grab the health bubble and then turn around and pick up the heavy. Almost like a level of optimization, but ScizR was kind of already in there on the chase, and unfortunately now cha1n unbelievably behind. The danger of having that sort of long-range rail game, you know, keeping him at arm's reach, keeping him at bay in terms of health, it's a lot easier to do that against someone like cha1n, who has such a huge hitbox.
Speaking of which, though, a big thing about cha1n is just that raw health, and that's it. cha1n is dead. That's going to be Anarchy and Nyx. They've got half of the health that she does, so that's half of the work ScizR's going to have to do. And that's obviously they've got their abilities ready to go.
Here comes Anarchy right around the corner. ScizR popping his injection though, and Mega to boot. Oh, cha1n, so much trouble. Lands a fantastic mid-air, but because of the combination of injection and Mega, ScizR survives it comfortably.
That's what it's there for. Being able to get yourself as topped up as you can whenever needed, and ScizR now with another huge lead, 1.5 minutes. This could be another 3.5 minutes of being defensive if he wants to be. I mean, ScizR has definitely got the ability to play for the clock if he wants, but he won't even need to. He smells blood. He's chasing this. He's trying to make sure that cha1n is low.
Well, the reoccurring issue with cha1n was missing some of these shots that would keep ScizR behind, or at least put him in a situation where he can't aggressively chase all the time. And there we go.
Nice shot.
Revenge is right. That's an important frag.
Yeah,
Finally take the Anarchy out. Play just for at least one round.
I just don't think ScizR expected cha1n to hang around and go for that frag.
Here comes Nyx. There's no way cha1n was ready for it. He's been ambushed.
Very low, but so is ScizR.
Swiftly undone by the Mega. I think ScizR's going to hang around and get some of the smaller health bubbles instead. I think it's good for cha1n. It's important that he's been able to stay alive this long. There are a couple of kind of risky confrontations there. I think in a short space of time, you don't really want to go down 2 rounds so fast. ScizR has been looking really on top of things so far.
And he is still in the lead. So if he has to, he can afford to play for this, what is now 2 minutes left. Do you think he actually is going to, though? Because it seemed like he went for the fight last time, and unfortunately hung around too long, and cha1n was able to kill him for it.
Well, what we've already been shown is that the second ScizR catches sight that he can start to play that defensive game, he is more than happy to do it. Heavy armor goes in the favor of cha1n, but undone somewhat by one of those surprise rockets. But realistically, she still has a nice amount of armor, so...
Yeah, still very important. He was able to secure it at the very least. Oh, no. It's that passing rail, but ScizR doesn't, and cha1n again has to go out and try and top back up again. Lucky the Mega Health is there, but you know, he did pick it up. He missed it.
The thing is, if he missed that Mega and didn't pick up, and then ScizR got a rail off right there, he actually would have died. That would have been a very
bit of a disaster.
Yeah, that would have been a very unfortunate Mega to not pick up. Here comes the surprise. Oh no, he's stuck! Got stuck near the jump pad.
I think cha1n was expecting ScizR to be there. Looks like he bumped into him there. And again, cha1n forced to run away from the fight and try and top up again, but it's going to be so difficult.
Well, the worry is that cha1n doesn't actually have any rockets. He's only got the rail. I think this is why his plan of action is going to be to get the Mega back, get some more of these rockets on board. He's all right for now. I think 10 is a nice amount to have when you've got 1 minute left. But speaking of which, here's the time, am I right? Taken by surprise again. cha1n surprised near the heavy armor. Forced to use his Ghost Walk. But here comes ScizR, using it defensively.
And there's the fight. ScizR hang around. cha1n very low now. ScizR's going to know it, but gets a nice defensive rail on the way out. But ScizR is chasing it, and he's going to get the frag for another round. That one rail I actually thought would have deterred ScizR from chasing, but he didn't care. He just went in and wanted to finish it off.
I think we've seen that sort of go pear-shaped today, where they've kind of walked into a little bit of splash. That one bit of splash damage too many while trying to chase it down. But I actually
it's definitely more dangerous when the rocket is so prominent, but it didn't look like that really was a threat at the time.
Let's change over to ScizR. We've seen plenty of cha1n so far. Have a look at this Anarchy.
I'm curious to see what it looks like first person, because he has been consistently dominating this initial fight, this first champion to champion. So I want to kind of see how he's been doing it. Oh, just missing.
One shot, but unfortunately,
nice connection.
I mean, yeah, the difference in stack means that missing shots like that, while you're proceeding to take damage, creates quite a divide. cha1n with a very important first frag again, getting rid of that Anarchy as quickly as possible. We've seen the benefits of that previously.
It's the power of the rails versus Anarchy, though. If Anarchy doesn't have armor ready to go, even if he has injected, he's still going to probably die in one go.
Love that slight pause, but the read was there, but unfortunately just didn't quite work out. Obviously, if ScizR used that teleporter, that would have been an entirely different story.
But now cha1n won that first 1v1. ScizR's going to be able to take out his Solag with Nyx or Doomslayer.
I feel like cha1n is going to play this very, very carefully now. Considering
Voice Butsu, really, he is currently down on 2 rounds. It's the first time he's been in control at any point, I think.
Well, considering now he's in a situation where he now has the advantage, I think he's really going to run away with that one. But unfortunately, ScizR, he's likely to try and stay on top of this one, but cha1n with a double back, maybe expecting ScizR to look the other way, and it looks like he has temporarily. Oh,
another bunch of rails coming out of ScizR. Oh, another one. cha1n! Oh, my lord. ScizR just, he hit every single shot he needed to there. And that's going to be cha1n's Solag taken down another time.
I think that's been quite a running theme with ScizR. His accuracy on these rails has just been, to be honest, just far beyond cha1n's. His accuracy on these rails has been superb. I'm actually surprised to see cha1n going with the Flaming Head Anarchy. Oh no, the suicide. I wonder what that was. Maybe it was a rocket jump, then he miscalculated some health.
I mean, but you've got to be particularly low to do that kind of thing. Like, how did that happen?
I don't know. I guess we may never know, actually. That's a very...
Why do we keep not seeing the suicides? We just don't expect them at that time.
It does happen at the most obscure time.
Is the game cursed? Is it because it's Halloween?
Maybe, actually. But I do wonder sometimes why you see players go with the Flaming Head Anarchy in tournament. You know, even though it's a really, really sick cosmetic, it looks really cool.
Maybe that was it. Maybe the Flaming Head was extinguished.
But the Flaming Head leaves a trail, right? And it leaves trails around corners, and you can somewhat see where an Anarchy's going before after he's gone around a corner. You can see him because he's left a fiery trail. It's really cool cosmetically, but in competitive, I think it can be
seen as a hindrance, but maybe he just likes how it looks so much that he doesn't really mind.
maybe.
I mean, it does look really cool, to be fair.
It does.
Still, though, ScizR going to be in the lead this time. cha1n left with just one champion left to go, and it is Nyx. Oh, we saw him, but there we go. That reaction, Ghost Walk immediately. I used to wonder if ScizR was just trying to stall for time there, or if he was trying to spring a trap.
Oh, ScizR's weak, and I love that change to the LG just to finish the job, and now it's one champion each. That suicide could have been absolutely disastrous for cha1n, actually. It's very useful that he's been able to at least even things out. Because realistically, this should really be a sort of 2-1 lead. Oh, moving on to the 1 minute warning, but with the one champion each, it doesn't really matter too much. Is that patience? Is he willing to sit there long enough?
Oh, misses. I mean, cha1n was committed to that for a long time. Like, he had a good inkling that ScizR was waiting there. Oof! That rocket would have been a deal breaker if it connected, but
definitely. That was on target as well. So slightly off. Ooh.
Yeah, by the way cha1n turned around, I don't think he actually expected that to connect.
The shadows hide me.
It was almost like a fire.
Oh, aggressive Ghost Walk. I reckon ScizR heard that.
Unfortunately, using the Ghost Walk aggressively like that, and then there being no payout, means that when cha1n finally decides to go around the corner and try and make something happen, ScizR doesn't really need to worry about it. You know, a Nyx with no Ghost Walk is nowhere near as scary as a Nyx that has one available.
I think that's like the read you make sometimes. You know, if you go for it and use it aggressively, your benefit is you get the jump on them, probably some guaranteed damage of some sort. If you know they aren't fully stacked up, then you'll realize that, okay, well, maybe that's most of the damage I can do then in one go. But if that happens and you can't catch up to them and you reappear near them and they know you don't have it, they then have nothing to worry about, just laying in everything they have into taking you down.
Just a 75 health champion, you know, and that doesn't like rockets very much. And we saw pretty much at the end there, this is when ScizR going, well, if you use your Ghost Walk, what do I have to worry about?
It was a very solid match for ScizR, I think. cha1n had some moments of getting, you know, the odd good rail here and there, or getting the good fight, but generally I think ScizR kind of just seemed to be a little bit more in control. I think cha1n seemed to be a little bit hesitant in a few situations, like, you know, his timing, picking up certain pickups, like he'd accidentally go to pick them up and then would like fall off the ledge, or would be there a little bit too early, a little bit too late.
Just a couple of fumbles.
And obviously that we can't really ignore that mysterious suicide that kind of really could not be worsely timed, I think, really, when you're already losing and it's the last round against you, to then unfortunately lose a champion. I mean, again, we don't know what it was, we didn't see what it was, but still, that's potentially a huge disaster.
There's been quite a few mysterious suicides today. It's quite obscure, but we're going into our next map, which is going to be Blood Covenant. So I'm actually really very curious to see how cha1n kind of handles ScizR on a map like this one, because realistically, I feel the way ScizR was approaching cha1n on Ruins, I can kind of see that working on Blood Covenant as well.
This could just be a comfort thing for cha1n. Like, regardless of how ScizR is planning on playing it against him, this could just be cha1n like, well, I lost and it's my pick. This is my favorite map. I think this is my strongest map, so I'm just going to pick it. You know, there might not be anything more to it than that, for all we know.
Indeed, but we're loading into this map again. We're going to find out what the champion selection is going to be. I always get excited at this stage of the tournament, seeing will people try and mix it up
Blood Covenant opens some possibilities of champions that we either used to see quite a lot on here, or we think have some potential. Like, obviously, Visor was big on this, Slash is big on this. Even Scalebearer we saw picked on this every now and then. But do we see them change? That is the question.
Anarchy and Nyx, as expected. Doomslayer, as expected. Will we see the Nyx to finish things up for cha1n? We do indeed. Will ScizR go in for the Doomslayer? No, he's going in for Slash. And it makes sense. Going on the DM6, makes sense that we see Slash get selected. I think it's definitely probably her strongest map in duel.
Yeah, I mean,
the speed of which she can navigate this.
I don't want to make any, you know, bold statements, but I think recent footage kind of really backs that up, right? That this is just generally a good map for Slash. I think, you know, people like Toxic are kind of like some of the premier players that really show why that is. But you don't have to be Toxic to be good with Slash. You know, you just need to understand how to use her and what makes her tick. And by this point in the game, when she's been available as long as she has, I expect that a lot of players kind of reached that point with her already.
Well, there are a bunch of competitive players in Quake that didn't even play Quake 4 that have done just fine learning Slash in this game. You know, and obviously she's got that crouch slide being the Quake 4 mechanic. It's not really one of those things where you have to play Quake 4 or have had to play Quake 4 to put this champion to good use. It's just not really the case because it's intuitive. You know, you can pick it up as you go. But I'm interested to see what their first picks will be, because you've got the fact that you've got ultimately Anarchy, Nyx, and Doomslayer. A ton of navigation, but then ScizR with the Anarchy, Nyx, and Slash. Basically, every single one of these champions can go wherever they want, whenever they want. They have so much free reign to just navigate this map pretty much easily. And I'm excited to kind of see what that means in terms of how, like, the kind of paths these guys will tend to take.
A big part of it, though, is crisp movement. And that's one thing that cha1n definitely seemed to be struggling with to a degree in the last map, was kind of like when pressure was on and it was important for him to land certain jumps or be there on a certain time, he would a few times kind of mess it up. And I don't think he can really afford to make those kind of mistakes now that he is a map down and this is still the side of the bracket.
ScizR lays the trap, both players unbelievably weak, and obviously the disengage comes through. Not surprised at all to see neither player wanting to fight in that one. Both players being one rocket away from death, both players actually having a rocket launcher. It makes sense they didn't want to fight it just yet.
cha1n's gonna have to be careful now, though. No armor available. He is in a bad shape. There it is. Gets a small pickup, but ScizR gonna get the heavy armor in return.
Here comes ScizR, heading him off, probably expecting him to go for the rail. Wow! There's the injection, but I'm not sure it's going to leave him alive. No, forced to use the injection himself. He frags ScizR at the last minute. But to be honest, because of the use of the injection, that could have gone either way if one rocket just went magically to the left or right.
That's actually how it turned out eventually. And now ScizR's gone to this Slash straight away. Now this is, this exact lineup of Nyx, Anarchy, and Slash, it's a very quick lineup. It's a very fast, potentially very aggressive, but that also means that it is three champions that can play the runaway if they want to. Because they can just build that space, but I think cha1n has a really good lineup of countering that and sort of sticking to them himself. Even if we need to see that, because right now cha1n is currently in the lead. Ooh, one quick rail is going to undo a lot of that work. And ScizR's chasing him. Oh no, the miss!
There's the ambush, but they kind of trade equal damage. ScizR having that advantage of Slash kind of having a naturally higher stack, though. Oh, they've just been met head on. ScizR goes down again. cha1n.
Already the map change looking a lot better for cha1n, I think. I think a big part of it was that he was able to really start to get those first initial fights with Anarchy, as opposed to obviously being on the back foot like last time. It was the first time he's been in the lead substantially, I think, for a while.
Yeah, ScizR did consistently keep cha1n behind pretty much every round. I feel like these kind of maps where you kind of force the opponent to play, if you go with the map knowing exactly how you want to approach it, like cha1n clearly has, I feel like it's really effective to kind of get back into the fight, not only take away the momentum and get him out of the board, but oh, nice shot. And actually, importantly, he took him out before he got access to the heavy armor. So ScizR was able to get
that's
that
actually not a bad return spawn for cha1n, though. It put him right next to the Mega Health, which obviously is near the lightning gun. Looks like he went towards the rocket instead. Two back-to-backs, and there we go. The aggressor, he has a rocket launcher. This is bad news for cha1n.
That last-minute turnaround was so important. Oh, the rail! Ever so slightly missed. This is dangerous territory. Two rails.
Another one. Oh, he's fallen down now as well. cha1n needing to get away. He's so low here.
Berserk! No, he's definitely trying to escape. He is not going to use that aggressively. Leaves to the Mega. That was a very odd exchange.
But it was important for cha1n to survive it, as he's managed to salvage, get the heavy armor, and fully stacked on health again. That was a really good sequence for cha1n to get out. I mean, I thought he was dead for certain, but ScizR, unfortunately, messing up and falling off the platform there, kind of gave cha1n the opportunity to escape.
Well, cha1n will happily capitalize, that's for sure. Here comes the aggressive Ghost Walk. I don't think he's quite ready for that. An uncontested rocket, but he's dedicating really heavily, using those wall jumps to try and survive. Misses a rail. That would have been the Doomslayer going down. Unfortunately, he's got no more rockets. Can he land the final shot? cha1n goes down. Just one champion each again.
ScizR's confidence on chasing with these rails has just been absolutely superb. Like in situations where he's dodging rockets on the way in into tough rail shots, it really is impressive.
It's very brave. Very, very, very brave.
cha1n tried to get the aggressive Ghost Walk there, but wasn't able to get as much out of it as ScizR has been able to.
I think ScizR's going to be quite content being careful here, because he has a really good habit of picking his shots. Doesn't want to push too forward. Definitely caught sight of cha1n.
Well, he is fully stacked at least now, but then again, so is cha1n. Doesn't even want to pick up the LG, wants to ignore it completely.
Yep, I definitely think he's not gonna win this fight with the LG. He's gonna win it with more damage. As he's consistently going for these rails into Ghost Walk. Unfortunately, missing the shot. Is that going to be capitalized on by cha1n? cha1n follows in with the combo kill. ScizR again. Such an amazing display of rocket into rail over and over.
I actually really like when ScizR opted to go for his Ghost Walk there, though. Like, cause obviously, like a big part of the rail is you shoot the rail and you can't shoot it again until it's recharged. However, there's nothing stopping you popping your Ghost Walk as soon as you've shot it. So he shot it, saw it missed, and then went for Ghost Walk immediately, so he wasn't vulnerable during its cooldown. It's really smart. Obviously, cha1n opted to chase, and ScizR read it like a book. It's a nice reappear. Now, you know, ScizR's going to be feeling himself after that one, like really in the zone, because he was almost significantly down.
It almost seems like ScizR used that missed rail to his advantage because he knew that cha1n was going to chase after that. He knew that was going to be the option, so he kind of just let him pretty much dig his own grave, right? Reappear, take one of those rockets. He just timed the reappear accordingly. cha1n has now taken so much damage, he's being forced to retreat. He's not going to be able to fight for this Mega. But actually, like the ScizR, brave stuff, but also at the same time, very calculated. He knows that he's not going to fight for the Mega because he's too far away. He's more likely to go for the Heavy, but if I beat him to the Heavy, he's dead.
cha1n has been able to get himself back up to full health again, though. Obviously, it's not quite the same stack that ScizR has, but rockets that will very quickly turn around.
But you can see the fiery head, right? It's leaving that trail. ScizR's able to see exactly where cha1n's run off to. The price you pay for looking boss.
Still, though, heavy armor could be good for ScizR. Full stack.
Oh, surprised.
That's an unfortunate miss. Didn't look like it was going to miss at all.
Surprised that rail missed, to be honest. Here comes ScizR, full speed ahead. I hope cha1n's ready for it.
That point blank, the injection popped on both of them, but cha1n lower, and that's going to be the first frag. ScizR barely alive, but is able to salvage it into the heavy armor, no less as well. Really well-timed frag for ScizR there in the end.
If you're going to be playing Anarchy, you've got to be so ready for those up-close confrontations where the point-blank directs are going to be such a common strategy. You see every time an Anarchy comes off better in those exchanges, they have like no health, you know, 10 HP, maybe even less sometimes.
Or the Berserk popped. Just trying to get hold of the rocket launcher, which he does have now.
Very important last-minute double jump actually for cha1n to stay in the air a bit longer, making that rail miss. The strength of Doomslayer to remain unpredictable whilst airborne.
Very nice, just running away with the damage. This is bad for cha1n, hasn't got any armor. Hang on a minute, ScizR now down here, but is cha1n gonna chase? I think he is.
I feel like that was beautiful pathing from ScizR during that fight, actually. Being able to optimize, being able to do as much damage as possible, and then collecting the heavy at a later date, which ultimately allowed ScizR to survive a little bit longer in that exchange. This has been a very good round for ScizR, by far.
May have got the gauntlet out by accident there. That long-range gauntlet tactic.
Throw it at him.
Just rev it in their direction, it'll make them so scared.
If that wasn't the Ghost Walk, that was likely going to be another disgusting combo kill from ScizR. He's really had those on lockdown today.
He has indeed. One frag away from finding himself match point in this loser's bracket. This is looking really good for ScizR. I mean, it's basically the same thing we saw last time. cha1n has had moments where he's looked really good, but generally, ScizR has been a little bit stronger, I think, fundamentally. He seems to be a little bit better at controlling the map around. Obviously, his managing of the power-ups and items as they spawn, or pickups, I should say. But a big thing is just ScizR's decision-making. In the clutch decisions, and his ability to follow up on those decisions has been a lot better than cha1n's at the moment.
I think it's more efficient, right? I think that's definitely the word I would use. Catching him reappearing, in many ways actually doing him a favor, launching him so high up into the air, giving him that speed boost.
The old Anarchy accidental catapult.
Yep, you're trying to shoot an Anarchy with the LG and he just goes at a million miles an hour and it's like, oh, thanks, mate.
Charged his batteries.
However, I mean, cha1n, with how we've seen cha1n play so far, I'm not sure he's going to be able to make this 3 straight comeback. I mean, I'm totally prepared to eat my words for sure, but how the series has gone so far...
The problem is, we've also got a minute left. Yeah, that's the biggest issue we've got now, is there's a minute. on the clock
And
for cha1n to get 2 frags.
I think you bet ScizR knows that too. Like ScizR is...
And he's got Nyx waiting, so even if he does lose this Anarchy, he can delay his respawn, pop the Ghost Walk, and just, you know, chew up those valuable seconds.
As soon as those rails don't connect, he's going to give cha1n somewhat of an opening, but if he keeps landing those rails, cha1n, he's going to have to make something happen, but he's not going to have anywhere near enough health to actually make the fight in his favor. He's going to have to just go in for those rockets and hope that he gets some directs. Otherwise, ScizR's just going to simply out-damage him. 20 seconds on the clock. He has to take out this Anarchy now. I mean, he needed to kill this Anarchy 20 seconds ago. There's a Nyx lying in wait where it will be a delayed respawn, and it will be a Ghost Walk in the last 3 seconds.
That's going to
game
be
over.
That is definitely going to be the round. ScizR's going to take round number 2 and put himself on match point over cha1n. 1 round away from eliminating cha1n from the championship qualifiers. And moving on himself. I mean, this is losers quarters, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even close to the end of losers bracket. Like,
We
there's
have
still
losers-
so much work to do.
We have a couple more series until our losers final was decided, so even ScizR himself has quite a journey left to go. 2 series at least before he's qualified.
It's better to keep going than to unfortunately have to be eliminated now, but ScizR is looking to do that to cha1n. cha1n starting off with Nyx this time, just trying to change it up a little bit.
Very important use of the Ghost Walk. Unfortunately though, when the Ghost Walk gets used that early, just to make sure you don't take any damage whatsoever, it means you've got to be damn good at surviving for that 35 seconds. Because you don't have long. And against someone like Anarchy, who's going to be flying around the map at such speeds, and someone like ScizR, who clearly has very spectacular movement as well. I feel like if you've got 30 seconds with no Ghost Walk, you can only really survive for so long. Because like ScizR, he's landed that rail, he's now going to lay this pressure on. He's going to keep you behind.
I mean, we know that ScizR obviously does have that heavy armor, cha1n getting the mega health, but ultimately it's not going to mean too much if ScizR is consistently just hitting these long range rails. That's just stopping cha1n from being stacked at all.
Undoing all the work.
Oh, ever so slightly missing that one. But I like the way ScizR doesn't hang around. He'll miss from one angle and then just cycle around again, you know, and try and hit you from somewhere else.
He's got plenty of rails to get the job done. You know, 8 rails is definitely a decent amount to play this long-range game with.
Especially if you're just shooting at Nyx.
I feel like cha1n is being a lot more careful. But he's trying to play this game so slowly, but you can see ScizR just
Nice shot there.
flying around this map, taking these crazy rails from all angles, and now he's going in for the kill. Lands it, cha1n gets taken out by another rail.
Do you think cha1n didn't have Ghost Walk, or do you think he just didn't expect to be hit by that rail there?
He just might not have even had the chance to react there. ScizR flew in so fast.
Still though, a perfect start for ScizR. Almost 2 minutes on the clock already. 1 champion down in his favor.
Are we going to see another Anarchy go down? These up-close rockets may see it, but ScizR opting to stay a little bit safer. Doesn't want to chase it too hard. Opting to keep the lead, but...
Oh no, missed the rail. Disastrous. cha1n getting a lot of this machine gun damage in return for it. Oh, just trying to shoot him down.
There's some of the more unfortunate rails to miss. When you sort of land the really crazy ones, and then the ones where someone goes on a jump pad, you can't land it. It's like, dear mate.
Right, cha1n able to get the mega health though. ScizR would have seen it. He's going to know that cha1n's going to be a little bit more stacked now. I love this movement from ScizR. Just absolute control over these like sort of instant jumps. You know, where he's building that speed immediately and making these jumps.
I think we're yet to see ScizR actually miss a jump.
He just looks like he's really got into his flow. Oh, nice shot there on cha1n.
And he's done the maths. He's going to chase this one down. Even with this injection, he's on borrowed time. cha1n loses his Anarchy. After ScizR knew full well he was going to guarantee that frag with the damage he'd done beforehand and just chases it down. cha1n's down to his Doomslayer. This is match point. If he takes out Doomslayer, he is going to move on. cha1n will be eliminated, but ScizR has been looking so strong from start to finish. It would not be surprising.
I think this is going to be tough. This is going to be a really hard comeback for cha1n to do. I mean, ScizR's Anarchy has been on top this entire series.
Oh, well, speak of the devil. We call that the commentator's curse in the business. He's never missed a jump, and then he misses the next jump. Sorry.
Right, 1.5 minutes and 3 champions remaining for ScizR. This is a bad situation for cha1n to be in. He's starting to get some damage, but I just don't know if it's too late. He has to chase this. He has no choice.
Oh,
the injection!
Is that enough?
No way is he going to get away from this. ScizR manages to escape. That is, I think, all we need to see.
I mean, that's going to be, if anything, just demoralizing. He survived with 2 HP. He needed this Anarchy gone, and he does manage to finish it. But it took a lot of time for him to get the next fight to take place. Now he's only going to have a minute to take out this Nyx. We'll change to cha1n for what could be the last time.
Still though, it is a Nyx, so that Ghost Walk is going to come in to buy some time. I mean, can cha1n do it? He has 45 seconds to kill her.
You know, ScizR, he's just going to run away. He's going to run away for 40 seconds. Using the Ghost Walk, he can't risk a rail. It is going to be down for a significant time, though, so if cha1n finds him now, even with that Mega...
Right, this is cat and mouse for 30 seconds. Horses is down there. That's a bad situation to be in. He's being chased. He's got the Berserk. This is a good situation for cha1n, but he can't go too hard or he's going to get hit by rockets on the way in.
I mean, I respect the attempt. I think if that punch connected and the lock-on came through, we probably would have seen cha1n try to follow that up and get another frag on the board, but...
He still has time. Ghost Walk's up for 3.
Yeah, but 10 seconds left, and he's pretty far away. I don't think that's going to be enough. I'm ready to call this one. ScizR is too far away, and at the very last minute, cha1n accidentally fumbles his rocket jump as well. And that is going to be all she wrote. And ScizR moving on in the losers bracket, and cha1n, unfortunately, is eliminated.
Well played all around. Well played all around, but ScizR obviously going to be moving on, so congratulations to him. We'll be seeing him again in a little bit, but I think just control. You know, that really was it. ScizR just looked like he was in more control the whole time. When it came down to him picking up the heavy and the mega, he just looked like he was a little bit more, I suppose, ready for it, and obviously just looking a little bit better in the fights. I think that was just a simple case of ScizR just being the better player at the time.
A big part of it also came down to the weapon switching, you know, using the right weapon at the right time. We didn't really see cha1n come out with those crazy sort of rockets on the ground, combo kill into rail, the situations where, you know, massive damage is done and they're kind of stuck in the air. You go for that one change to rail, flick shot. I think ScizR was doing those for days and cha1n really kind of wasn't, which I think if you're not going for those kind of shots, if your opponent is going for those kind of shots and they're consistently landing them, if you're not even trying to go for those kind of shots, unfortunately, that's just going to be damage that they're going to take uncontested. You kind of need to be able to sort of match that level of efficiency. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. But congratulations to ScizR for moving on. We will no doubt